There are 4 reasons why vaping is so addictive. Reason number 1, the nicotine addiction. Reason number 2, the flavor addiction. Reason number 3, the device addiction. Reason number 4 has to do with ocular fixation, focused on the lighting mechanisms used in these devices. And I have a bonus one for you as well too. Here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching, we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, pornography, and a whole host of other addictions. So be sure to subscribe if you find this valuable and leave a like. Okay, so reason number 1, the nicotine addiction. When I was addicted to nicotine, when I was addicted to vaping, chewing tobacco, I was utterly convinced that I simply had a bad habit. And this simply wasn't true. I had a drug addiction. I had a substance use disorder addiction involving nicotine, which is one of the most addictive substances known to mankind. Nicotine releases 100 times more dopamine than other enjoyable activities that we partake in life. 100 times more dopamine. Okay? So I want you to think about that. Now, vaping was an ingenious industry because they took nicotine, freebase nicotine, and then they turn that into nicotine salts. Nicotine salts enter your bloodstream faster and then they exit at a quicker rate. So this increases the cravings, this increases the frequency of withdrawals between vaping sessions. That's why so many people find that they have to use a vape so frequently, so regularly. It has to do with the nicotine salts. I also want you guys to keep in mind too, many of these disposable products, which are complete trash, that's why this Juul is all beat up. I know Juul is not disposable, you'll get my point. They say they have 5% nicotine salt. Many of them are completely unregulated and have way more than 5% nicotine salt. No one has any idea what's in it. Did you know Juul is currently in the process of suing 30 counterfeit Chinese companies that are distributing Juul products in gas stations all over North America? So remember too, like things like Puff Bar, you cannot buy a Puff Bar in North America. They've been banned. So if you have one, it's either really old or it's a fake product. So take all those things into combination and boom, you have a serious nicotine addiction, you have a drug addiction. Reason number 2 I said was the flavor addiction. Did you know that places like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Dr. Pepper, they've studied the perfect amounts of flavors and the perfect amounts of sweetness to get a certain level of dopamine release to train your taste buds to create a craving. The nicotine industry, when it comes to vaping, has simply picked up that ingenious idea. I don't know what exactly they use in these things. I don't know if they use, I know in like Zen pouches, they use the artificial sweetener Ace K, which is like 1 trillion times sweeter than sugar. So they use these really high-end, I'm going to guess, artificial sweeteners, which again trains your brain into a pattern of addiction. Why is it you think sugar is so addicting? Why is it you think diet soda is so addicting? It has to do with these artificial flavorings and sweeteners. These are highly addicting things. Why do you think we see so many people get addicted to energy drinks? When you combine caffeine, a very powerful stimulant that's highly addictive, with sugar or hyper sweet artificial sweeteners, you have a cocktail that makes someone very, very addicted, especially if you then throw in the dependence that a person develops on caffeine, or in today's case, the dependence that a person develops on nicotine. Now, you also have an addiction to the device. This is a very cool piece of technology. Throwing away a pack of cigarettes, throwing away a can of dip doesn't really feel like anything. But throwing this away feels like you're throwing away a piece of technology, something valuable, something expensive. Just like we've become accustomed to having a cell phone in our pocket, we've been trained to, where's my Juul? Where's my disposable vape? Where is that piece of technology? These companies understood cell phone addiction. They understood the addiction that we have as a society to electronic devices, and they've now been able to capitalize on that addictive trait. Now, I always tell people when you vape, I ask them, are you a lab rat? And I'm not talking about the experimental, side effects of vaping. What I'm referencing is the little lighting mechanism that occurs on most of these vape devices, especially on these disposables. So what happens is when you draw from a lot of these devices, a light goes off. That light, yes, it's telling you it's working, but it's also signaling your brain that your brain is about to receive a reward. And that reward is nicotine. So it's training you like a rat, like a lab rat, to keep coming back for more. Oh, there's that light. I'm about to receive a reward. Here comes nicotine. Here comes dopamine. Now I'm going to repeat this behavior over and over again, just like a lab rat hitting a lever over and over again until it overdoses on whatever substance they're feeding it, right? Because we can train a lab rat to become dependent on cocaine, nicotine, whatever it is, and it will start to value that more than it values water or food. Unfortunately, like we see a lot of people who consume nicotine do, right? They consume nothing but energy drinks, caffeine. I lived it. I know what it feels like. I did this for years, and your brain values that over food. And the bonus addiction is the free marketing that these companies receive. So you see all your friends vaping, you see all the social media influencers vaping, right? We see it all the time on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We see these people that we in one way, shape, or form look up to or aspire to be like or whatever, envy for some reason. And that is free marketing for the nicotine companies, which further reinforces the addiction. It further reinforces the behavior. Once you start to realize why these things have you so hooked, you can start to reframe your mindset around quitting, and you can actually successfully begin the quitting process. If you're thinking about quitting, follow me into the next video where I talk about some key mindsets that you need when it comes to quitting vaping. I hope this video helped. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you there.